Hi, this is Wendy from Knitters Brewing, and I'm going to talk to you about how you can use embroidery to embellish your knitting. And in this video in particular, we're going to talk about the straight stitch. I've got it shown in yellow here. The straight stitch is really the simplest of all the hand stitching that you can do. You bring your thread or your yarn up at one point and take it back down at another point, and it causes a straight stitch. Very simple. And by combining a group of straight stitches, you can make all kinds of geometric designs with them. You can make diamonds or squares or zigzags, or here is an example where I've combined them and joined them in the center, and you could call this a snowflake or a star. I've used half a snowflake over here in this area where we've got this negative space between the cables, and I think it fills that up nicely. Here I've used a full snowflake, and I've put it right on top of this chain stitching that I've already done before, and that's shown in another video. So you can get creative all kinds of ways with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to make another one of these half snowflakes. I'm going to make it over here. I'm going to make the mirror image and fill up this negative space right here. To get started, you want to bring your yarn up through your work where you want the center of your snowflake to be, and leave about a 5-inch or so tail of yarn that we will weave in at the end. Now we're going to work our way around the snowflake. So first we're going to make the leg on this side. Now you can make it as big as you want, but I'm going to try to keep mine looking like this one, and I went over 4 ladders from my center. So I go down through and then bring the yarn back up through the same hole that my center was originally. Now, one of the tips here to keeping the center of your snowflake looking nice and neat is try very hard not to skewer one of the previous wraps as you come up through the center. Try to keep each one nice and clean. All right, there's our first leg. Now my second one is a diagonal leg about 45 degrees, and it's a little shorter than the first leg, but we'll see what we can do here. I think it goes right about there. And again, I'm going to bring it back through the center, and I'm going to avoid sticking the yarn through one of the previous wraps that's already going through that hole. Okay, that's 2. Now my third one is going straight up this direction. So I'm going to stick it down through my work. Oops. Pardon my hand. And again, oops, there we go, sorry. Back up through the center hole. Now we're going to do the other diagonal. I'm going to move around a little bit here. Try to keep it pretty even with my other one. And again, back through the hole. And then finally, we have our fifth leg. And I'll try to keep it even with my other one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And back through the center. Actually, we don't have to go through the center. This is our last leg. Just pull it straight through to the back. And there we have it. Now if you were going to make a full snowflake, you would put 3 more legs on it. And if you really wanted to overachieve on these, you could do a French knot right in the middle. That would look sharp. add a little more texture. You could do it in a different color even. Go crazy, have fun. This is good stuff. On the back side, to weave in our ends, there isn't much for us to weave into in terms of the actual motif we just put on there. So what I recommend is just running your needle up through a nearby column of stitches, and you don't even have to go under all of them, just kind of, if your needle's sharp, you can just push right through the column like that, just for an inch or so, and bring it up. And then you can clip it off right there and do the same thing with the other end. And it'll look as pretty on the inside as it does on the outside.